tutorial, we're going to go ahead and look at a FTR-1200 tune, base tune, and make the first pass corrections. So go ahead and open up your application launcher, your Dynajet. Power core, open up C3. Let's go ahead and navigate to the your FTR directory that you've made and your first tune that you created. Create this tune based off the example I provide on my blog. You can see that idle has been changed, rev limits have been changed, and torque levels have been changed, and that's all we do to begin the tuning process. Let's just take it one step at a time. So let's go to the data center. Again, you have a tree over here. You can open up that file if you wish. Just navigate to wherever it is. And it's these two logs here. I prefer the tree version. Select these here to load. There they are. Nothing is showing up because we have not set up this calibration yet. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to have short-term fuel trims. For the rear, for the front, long term, for the rear long term. Wow, what a difference. Your front's pulling out a ton of fuel. And let's go ahead and look at engine temperature, make sure we're at proper temperature. And we are. Have to be above 170, so right here we aren't, so we're going to ignore all that data coming in. We have to be at 170. And then let's look at engine speed. Let's go ahead and save this window. This calibration is, well, we're just going to call it FTR. And I happen to have one right there. I believe it has different parameters at the bottom. It does. I typically like to look at request AFR and load request, but I do like to check the temperatures and make sure that they're at or above 170. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. So let's go on over here. We have loaded in the equation, but if you have missed that, go to my blog and upload the main equation, put it in a folder, call it equations, and this is it here. So once that is done, make sure that the show plot is deselected. You don't want a bunch of plots here. And then hit perform correction. We're going to use the run files in the data center. It's going to go out and correct the VE table first. It's not all that great a run, is it? Many cells are missing here. Now we're going to do the IPW comp front. I'm going to accept that. You can see we're adding fuel. It's above 1 in these cells. We're adding fuel to the front. It's kind of strange. And we're taking fuel from the rear. I might have been looking at the rear on that one. There we go. We have our corrections. Right now, these are highlighted because the stock value is what we started out with, but moving forward we want to look at open saved values to see what's changed. And we're starting interpolating between these values later on. Right now we're going to say save as. Come here, select that. Let's create a new folder called pass 1. Open that. V1. See, this is V1. Call it whatever. Changes made. Let's do a running count. We have idle changes. We have rev and speed limits changed. We have misfire changes, and we have torque limits. Down here we want to say this is pass 1. We change the VE and we change the IPW comp, front and rear. So that's what we've done. Save that. It's going to ask you to add a STK file. I suggest you do that. Otherwise, your life will not be pleasant when you do this next step. Let's go ahead and compare the changes. So right click on the new tune and compare it to the old tune. So right here, look how much fuel we pulled out of the auto area. Pulling a ton of fuel out of that thing. And your front, we've added fuel. On the rear, we took away fuel. So what these equations do is they first calculated the VE, figured out what needs to be corrected from a global standpoint, and then it looked at what needs to be done per cylinder, essentially finds a midpoint and then takes plus or minus out of there, and that allows this tune to converge very, very quickly. You're doing all three important tables at once. And that is it. Just close everything out and take that over to, copy that over to your PV3. Be sure to delete your old logs. You don't want them on there. Connect to your bike flash and go repeat this process. It's that simple.